it's important to know that just because somebody was in a prison doesn't define who they are as a person. It's counterproductive to just dwell on those mistakes ad infinitum and just say that this person, we should disregard them because of what they did 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. It's important to realize that we should humanize these individuals and give people equal opportunity to demonstrate that they can not only be productive members of society, but they also have substantial things to offer in terms of building relationships, contributing to the community, helping people who are going through similar situations, whether they're the exact situations or whether they're situations that are similar. I'm Jeremy Taylor, and we're in the building of the Milwaukee Turners. Well, my story is complex. I did 14 years in prison. A lot of people would automatically have a negative connotation of somebody who did so much time in prison. But I've met a lot of good people in prison. I've built a lot of lasting friendships. I love to learn, so I figured, okay, well, let me do all the things that I can do in order to maximize the probability that I'll be successful when I get out. Became fluent in Spanish and Italian. I did correspondence courses in order to obtain a bachelor's in business administration with a focus in finance, and then I subsequently got an MBA while in prison. There were so many roadblocks that were put up in my way just to try to, get my bachelor's and get my master's degree. I did interpreting for parole hearings, for court hearings, legal, medical, or educational documents for the Department of Corrections. When I was learning Spanish, I had a lot of people who, were bilingual and well-versed in both languages who would help me. I gained a lot more beneficial information about improving myself and furthering my education. When I was released, I got an interstate compact to move to Florida. One of the rules there is that the probation and parole department has in Florida is that when you're applying for a job, you have to disclose the fact that you have a felony, you were incarcerated, and that you're currently on supervision. I thought it was going to be difficult, but surprisingly, in the industry that I'm in, which is manufacturing, CNC machining, I really didn't find any barriers to finding employment in that regard. They were more interested in what I could offer, what I could do, my capacity to learn and continuously learn the aspects of the trade that I was going to continue. But what was a surprise to me is where I did find difficulties after getting out, I tried to rent an apartment. Every time I filled out an apartment application, I kept getting denied because of my criminal record. So I reached out to a few real estate agents, and yeah, sure enough, it was easier to buy a house than it was to rent an apartment in Florida.
So you've been out for a little over 3 years. What
Yes.
do you think the next 3 years looks like for you?
Continue to live well, enjoy my family. I have a daughter who's almost 2 years old, watching her grow up in the next 3 years. I also just started my own business, and I purchased my first couple machines, and so they'll be arriving the first week of February. I would definitely like to hire somebody who was formerly incarcerated and train them to do the things that I do. I think it's a great field for formerly incarcerated people to get into. I love being a part of, helping people who need help, especially people that have been through what we have been through.